Past life for Carmen. Sounds like the lawn people are nearby, so sorry about that. Past life for Carmen. Getting a sense of like a sizzling firework moving. This smoke going through here. We've got the carpenter, the peasant, the poet. The broken heart. The imprisoned. And the obsessive. I'm getting something like, it feels almost like Guy Fawkes or something like that. And the servant coming through. Huh. This is a story of romance and loss because of romance, because of obsessive romance and love going on, and throwing all the cards in on this one person. Then it fizzles out. Now what's going on? I'm getting a male and female dynamic. The female is more like the storm. There's the carpenter there. Leading forward, always on the mind, going forward, leading forward, always on the mind. This feels like that you were in the male and this female was trying to lead forward. This is somebody that was more ambitious for their time than you would suspect. I think you had probably a pretty good job. I think you were the carpenter, she was the peasant. I think there was something about you guys, huge romantic, trying to overthrow something, perhaps social station and situation. Yeah, huge joy. There's a child in the situation going on too. The young girl growing older. She was like your everything. I think you were actually wed to somebody else, but this woman was your everything. And she had the heart. She had definitely brought out the poet in you to move forward hugely so. I think you were wed to someone that you weren't in love with. I don't think the person you were wed to was in love with you, but this other person, you were obsessed, beautifully obsessed. It was very strong energy, strong romantic energy, and hugely so. And she was the one, she wasn't really a troublemaker. She was just living above her station. This is like people used to not marry below their station, or they'd marry in certain classes. And she, I think, was below your station. Even though you were a carpenter, you were more established. She was like peasant, so she was even lower than you in the social rung. So you shouldn't have had any business or any dealings with her. However, the heart wants what the heart wants. Your heart wanted what it wanted. The sacrifice was there and then made, and it's like, okay, pouring things out in order to go forward. And walking this desolate path, even though that you knew it'd be desolate, walking forward on this desolate path, feeling a little bit like so overburdened, overwhelmed because of your choice here, but you couldn't do anything but make this choice. I'm going to show you some of these cards as they're coming up. This big overwhelming love, a child that is there because of it. The child grows older. The daughter that you have from this one is like really inspirational for both of you, but takes a lot out of you. You lose from some of this. The desire to overthrow something is still there. There's social change in the air and what's going on. I'm not sure what that's about. You're brought low because of your choices regarding this. And it's not that everybody was so, morally virtuous. No. But you're brought low because of this. You lose a lot because of this. You lose a lot of ground because of this. What's going on here? Second deck. What's going on here? It's a willing sacrifice you make. It's like it was like you sacrifice your position, you sacrifice what's going on. I think you end up moving to a different town, different location, because you're sacrificing your crown for this willing sacrifice for the daughter, so that she isn't tumbling too hard in the world, so she has more support around her than what you would think. There she is again. It's like you would have had a successful shop of carpentry or of building. You would have maybe even had a shopkeeper where you're building furniture or whatever it is carpenters are building. You got this, except for you're selling this so you can go out towards something more rural for the sake of the daughter. She's the inspiration and the hope, and all this, all your aspirations are caught up in this daughter. The marriage that was not a happy marriage for whatever reason, I think you're able to leave it. I don't know if they decide, hey, you can be free of this person, or this person can be free of you because of what's going on, but you go to some more rural setting and the daughter is there. I think the woman you love is there. The predatory woman that some people would see as the predatory woman or the secretly kept woman, she's there. This marriage that was perhaps arranged and everybody thought was so great, that didn't work out for you guys. It doesn't seem like everybody's all, blame and shame and condemn. I think that the other wife, I think perhaps has felt like, oh, I dodged a bullet. Let's get out of this. Yeah, this is not a good situation. And I don't even know if you formalize anything other than you just make different arrangements. I don't think you're so much bought into like the religious aspect or the paperwork aspect. It's more like very much this, we want our independence from each other. That's how we're going to do it. Okay, fine. That's how it is. There was no terms stated or needing to be stated. It was just decisions that you guys made. Really interesting. Yeah, when it's ended, it's ended. And she sees that it needs to end for her. It needs to end so that you can move to this other thing. And it's like she's more than happy to relinquish. It's like, okay. The carpenter and the woman beneath his station. The carpenter is the one that is married to this other woman. I think she thinks the carpenter is beneath his station, as beneath her station as well. Very interesting. This rest and this relinquishment that has to happen. It's like something about dark night of the soul for everyone concerned has come up before you move towards where this girl is. And it's once you move towards this dark night of the soul and you realize, yeah, you're moving past, moving through, moving beyond, then everybody seems to be pretty good about it. It's really kind of a weird one. Like, the happiest divorced woman ever that never got divorced. That's your ex-wife. And then this woman that's the other woman that you have this child with, it's like so much better suited. Now, I don't know what your ex-wife goes on to. I don't think you even really care. It's just like, okay, this was a mismatch from the gate, so no problem. You're seen as out in the cold, and the ex-wife is just fine. She has in her heart a notion about romantic love, and also somebody that's more in the courts that is a little bit more, I can only say nightly, more nightly. So she has her own ideas, her own arrangements. Very interesting. It's like the alliance that was made between you two. It didn't have to stay that way. It was just like, I don't know why it was that way, but that's what it was. Yeah, choices needed to be made and freedom needed to be had, and you cut each other free, and there was not a big kerfuffle about it. Like, modern day, we see divorces happen or couples that are separating, and there's like, oh, this fucking hoopla. Not the case. It's like, no, let's just be done with this, okay? We don't need to be having this. There's a reckoning and a freeing of each other. It's so easily understood and so clearly understood. It's almost like if you guys had gone back a life or two, this wife of yours, you would have gone back and been like burdened by each other. In this particular life that you're in here, it's like you've paid your dues, you're done, you learned the lesson and completed that lesson, and now you're free of each other to move towards where your heart wants to be. What about this daughter? What is it? with you and this daughter. Getting something about like alms to the poor. In your old age, you lose your vision, you lose your sight, but you still have your craft and your skill. You still know how to do things with your hands. You still can feel your way around your tools and create beautiful things. The daughter has kids of her own. Mary's has 2 kids of her own. And the woman that you loved so much that wasn't your wife, she's very clear in what needs to happen. You guys have carved out a good little life for yourselves. Even though it's more in the peasant lands, you don't care. It's just not about the money. It's about the higher self and the soul connection that's there. The grandkids are good, but you do lose your sight. You do lose your vision. And I don't know if it's going completely blind or just not in a time when there would be glasses available. You know what I mean? Because you're still doing your craft. You still have access to some of the things that you would want to have. You still have some connections that are there for you. It's like you do all of this carving of things, these carving of wood things. I'm not sure what it is that you carve in wood, but you're carving wood things. You're doing something that is a carving in wood where the son-in-law takes things going forward. So whoever it is your daughter marries, he takes whatever it is, your work that is going forward. What weirdness is that? I don't know what that's about. Sometimes your daughter does feel a little bit stuck because there is a little bit of lack of money, but this is how it's played out. And I think she understands that, but sometimes she does feel a little bit stuck. Overall, there's joyfulness. Overall, there's happiness. But once in a while, feeling stuck. It's like the family business was important, whatever this is. The family business was important, and important enough that it did support. It did pretty well, even after you like packed up your shop and sold everything. But it might not have been her heart's desire, but it did well enough. Yeah, it wasn't her heart's desire. She wanted to set up some things on her own. I don't know if she's able to do that in this particular lifetime. Not so much. She's not able to do that so much. And the one that she's with feels like he can travel and do business and sell things, and she feels a little bit homebound. Yeah. Still celebrating. She's still kind of stuck in the role of women of the time, of the era. But he's going forward, and she wants to go forward more. She wants to travel more. She wants to be able to do things on her own and create things more. I think she wants to be a painter. I'm seeing this Queen of Wands coming through, and she's coming through actually as if she has a camera in her hand. She's seeing pictures and wants to be a painter. I'm not sure what that's about. She wants to do the magic of creating in a different kind of a way. And you're still in like this rural setting now. You're trying to explain to her it's all about choices, babe. Sometimes the choices work out, sometimes they don't, but it's all about the choices of the heart. What do you want? She's going to have to figure it out. You're telling her, choose your own battle, sweetie. What are you trying to prove? And then the mom steps in. The mom says, choose your own battle, sweetie, but sometimes the things that you fight for are more than just the matters of the heart. She's trying to discourage her and say, hey, don't go towards the city again. Make your choices. Don't go towards the city again. There's still this longing to go towards something different, but this happiness in this rural area is really pretty good overall. Again, the daughter stays put. I think that she realizes that she'll put that off for another time. I don't know when she goes for that. I think she'll do something that's more artistically inclined later in her life. As far as you're concerned, though, you continue with what you're doing to the best of your ability, and that is what supports a family. When the modern era comes in, you're quite like into your 60s or whatever. As a 60-year-old man, the modern era comes in, things are moving forward finally. It's like a shift in the, I don't know if it's the political landscape or just the technology of something, but something is rolling forward now. And finally, in your 60s, you're getting to settle down. Yeah. You and her mother are settling down, enjoying things, finally. The son-in-law does well. He goes on to be successful in what he's doing as far as putting merch out and doing things that way. He does fine in that. Yeah. There's much reward offered, and then there's this gate. It's like you guys can cross through, and then you're leaving this behind. This is the daughter coming through again, saying she would have rather had the time to be a little more artistic. I think she ended up doing much gardening. Yeah. It was still pretty good overall. It's still a really balanced, loving thing. This is not like a huge amount of drama. This is just kind of a regular kind of a life. A regular kind of a life going forward, choosing at the front end of it to sacrifice something that was completed or no longer fit and move towards something else, even though it was a change in station. That's what I've got. That feels complete. Yeah. It's like keep calm and carry on with the King of Cups, and that's the end, and that's how it is. It's like your emotional up, down turbulence is no longer necessary. You've learned how to be even keeled in this particular life. And that was a huge legacy to leave in this time of uncertainty. This feels maybe Renaissance-ish. That's what I'm getting. That's complete.
Wow.
It's wild. Yeah. Don't know what it's about. But that's what it was.